Hi there, everybody. I'm Melissa Curran, and I'm a certified aromatherapist, and I hope I'm your favorite aromatherapist. I'm also the owner of Scented Balance Aromatherapy, and I love bringing practitioners, holistic practitioners, heart-centered practitioners to you to show you that there's other ways and good ways at your fingertips to stay healthy. And today I'm excited. One of my friends from my network group is Kristen Norton, and she's here with us today. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. Y'all know I have my cheat sheet. Kristen is the co-founder of Well Balanced Nutrition with her business partner, Lucy. Kristen is located in Clemens and Lucy is in Durham, North Carolina. So we're all in North Carolina. Kristen has a master's in wellness and gerontology from Ball State University, which I believe is in Indiana. She is a licensed and registered dietitian since 2007, and she has over 10 years experience counseling and coaching individuals and families on healthy eating. Welcome, Kristen. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. This is fun.
I know. I love doing these Zoom chats, and I think I've gotten used to them a little bit. Well, you are a registered dietitian, and I wanted to talk to you today because food is just such a big part of our lives, and so is the healthcare system. And I don't always believe the healthcare system works really good. So that's part of why I became an aromatherapist. So tell me how food and good choices and daily little bitty choices help, I guess you could say, prevent illness or keep you out of the healthcare system for as long as possible. How does that work?
Yeah, so I encourage everybody to think about their food choices now rather than, oh, my blood sugar is high or my cholesterol levels are high. I need to change my diet.
Okay.
Think about your nutrition choices now so that you don't have to have blood sugar issues to worry about your blood sugar now, because
Right.
if you worry about it now, then you're not going to have to get on metformin later because you weren't paying attention. So just paying attention to how we build our meals and putting some time and effort and allowing those things to be a part of our daily routines and rhythms instead of putting them on the back burner can really help our mood, our health, and our energy levels.
Energy is huge.
Yes.
Personally, well, and personally, I think we're all tired. Let's face it, we've had an adventure over the last 18 months or so, and I know we're all tired. But how does food play into the energy? I mean, is it just carbs, or do we need fat? Can we ever have potato chips again? Please say yes.
Yes. So at Well Balanced Nutrition, we very much believe in, all foods fit. And that when we label foods as good or bad or off limits, it only sets us up for all or nothing issues and just bad news bears when we say foods are off limits, unless they need to be for health reasons. If you have celiac disease, then gluten's off limits. But
Pretty
if
much.
you don't, so at Well Balanced Nutrition, we really help people focus on a balanced plate. So not necessarily counting your macros, but you do need to pay attention to them, because when you balance your macros to a certain extent, you're preventing energy highs and lows, right?
So
a lot
wait
of
a
us
minute.
are on these energy roller coasters where we're like, oh, I got all this energy. I've got caffeine. I've got sugar. I've got all this stuff in my system. And then maybe an hour later, we're like, ooh.
So is macro associated with your blood sugar? I don't think I know what that is.
Yeah, so thanks for saying that so I can clarify. So when I say macronutrients, I'm thinking of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats.
Okay. Basic
So,
building blocks of your diet.
right. So
Okay.
when you have some strong, healthy carbohydrates that give you fiber, and some complex carbs rather than simple carbs, right? So you got some good quality carbohydrates. You've got some protein rich foods, and you've got some fat. That combination provides a more leveled and sustained energy. On the contrast, let's say you just have some carbohydrates. You just have
Potato
maybe
chips.
potato chips, or well, that's fat too. But let's say you just have a blueberry muffin.
Okay.
A blueberry muffin. Just
That sounds good.
Then it might, raise your blood sugar.
Okay.
And then because you don't have the protein and fat, you'll get a drop. But let's say you have a blueberry muffin that has some flax in it. It's made maybe with some whole wheat flour or almond flour. You have some almond butter with it and maybe an egg on the side for extra protein. Because you're getting those extra macronutrients, you're blunting some of the effects of the carbs, and you're kind of going on this smoother, more sustained energy that'll get you the 3 to 5 hours before your next meal without having to crash.
So that's where that crash comes in for me around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not one, I appreciate my cup of coffee. I have one cup of coffee every morning, and I usually have a bagel with some cream cheese. But at usually around 3 o'clock, I cannot have a donut and coffee and go on my merry way. I cannot have a breakfast full of sugar unless that's what I just described to you with the bagel. And sometimes it's eggs and sometimes it's oatmeal. But I am not one first thing in the morning to have just sugar. Like donuts and coffee, it's not good for me. I know that. And that sets me up for a day of being just worn out and yawning and actually cranky. And so I've learned that peanut butter and cream cheese are actually my friends. Avocados are my friends.
Yes, that will provide more energy for longer and satisfaction.
And the good news is I like flaxseed. I sprinkle it on my salad because I eat a lot of salads. It's just easier to cook. And especially if I don't want to cook, I put salad and I'll put pecans and walnuts on it and some flaxseed and some dried cranberries and some things like that, along with some vegetables. And number one, I don't have as much cleanup and I don't have to cook. And I feel like I've treated myself to something really good for my body. So I hope I'm on the right track. Please, please, please say I am.
That sounds excellent. Yeah. You've got some fiber, some color. But if you're having that 3 p.m. crash after that lunch, then maybe some protein is important to add to that, because you do have a little bit from the nuts and the flaxseed, but not a lot. So perhaps protein can come into play at 3 o'clock or at lunch. And another really fun thing is peppermint tea. And I bet peppermint oil helps with energy too, right?
It does. It is a central nervous system stimulant. So it kind of perks you up and it smells awesome. But I will say you don't ever want to put a drop of peppermint in your teacup. You need peppermint tea. Yeah. Because it is not good to ingest essential oils. It's just not good. But yes, the scent of peppermint can really bring you back to life a little bit. And it's good for headaches and nausea and all sorts of things. It's a wonderful oil.
Yeah. So the same way with it, smelling the oil, if you have peppermint tea, not the essential oil, but true peppermint tea, the research shows that it can improve alertness, and it's a great mid-afternoon pick-me-up.
I have a grandson who told me, I guess it was when they were still, meeting in person in school. And I know we've had some adventures, but he said his teacher would give all the kids a piece of peppermint candy and diffuse peppermint oil when they were taking a test to perk them up and help them focus a little bit more. And I thought, now that is an amazing teacher. So, I mean, there is power in that.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So at Well Balanced Nutrition, we really help people like set up their environment for success, set up a kitchen to be, easy to navigate and cook a meal really quickly, having the stuff on hand. And I'm curious, Melissa, what can we do in terms of essential oils to set ourselves up for success when we want to be in a good mood, want to have energy, or want to fight cravings?
One of the best ones for cravings, whether you're hunger cravings or if you're trying to quit smoking, is black pepper.
Oh, tell me about
Black
that.
pepper and clove and grapefruit, the peppermint, they're all wonderful for that. And sometimes I will throw this out, especially, I mean, I want everyone to use essential oils and to love them as much as I do. Sometimes when you think you're hungry, you're thirsty. And if you go onto my website and read through some of those blogs, I'm pounding at you about water, your water intake. And I'm not talking coffee or even juice. I'm talking pure water, pure water. I didn't say you needed to drink 9 gallons of it. Thank you. I just said, if you think you're hungry, drink a glass of water.
Yeah,
Sometimes
water
that
is
helps
one of
with the
the
craving
simple
too.
things. And not even just cravings, but energy level. If
Mhm,
you're low in energy, one of the easiest things to look at is how much water have I had to drink
mhm,
today?
mhm,
Because just a little bit of dehydration is going to affect your mental clarity.
mhm. And it affects your energy. And sometimes you're cranky
Mm-hmm.
and you think, I'm hungry. I'm just going to eat something because I'm mad. Or, I mean, we all get like that sometimes. We all do get to the point where we're hangry. But water, people,
Yeah, that's a
it's
great
just water.
water.
Nothing in it, water.
Mhm.
But I do like the
That's nice.
ideas sometimes. Yeah, and I didn't even bring any with me today. And I've got to get my water for today. And um, I think sometimes if people would listen to their bodies a little bit more. If your stomach is growling, okay, chances are you are hungry. But that's where essential oils and good nutrition can work together, because there are scents, like I was mentioning, grapefruit, any of your citrus oils will perk you up. What better smell than lemon? Oh my
Mm,
goodness, that is such a happy, sparkling smell. And it just lifts your mood. Plus, it helps your white blood cells activate.
that's neat.
Uh-huh. And white
So
blood
let's
cells are
say
really good.
they're really important, yes, for your immunity.
Uh-huh.
We all need that
Yes.
right now.
And so I'm going to guess that along with aromatherapy, yes, essential oils do help your immune system, but a healthier, moderate diet is going to be good for your immune system as well.
Yes. Getting my favorite and the simplest thing you can think about is getting as many natural colors in your
Mhm.
diet as possible.
Eat the
Those,
rainbow.
eat the rainbow because those natural colors are different phytonutrients or plant chemicals
Mhm.
that the plants use to defend themselves that we can then ingest and defend our bodies from the things that are coming at us. So eating your colors, eating seeds, like you mentioned, flax
Mhm.
seeds,
Mhm.
pumpkin seeds, chia seeds. Do you think about that? That has everything a plant needs to grow. Imagine all of the great things in there that we could benefit from. Um, that really helps our immune system. But yeah, eat the color and eat some seeds.
I try to look at, because sometimes it's hard to eat the rainbow. You
It
can
is.
just only eat so many carrots, and then you think, what else? I don't like eggplant. but that's where your peppers come in, your green peppers, yellow peppers, red peppers, orange peppers. That kind of helps you along with the green beans. And I can just feel people turning their nose up, green beans, ew. And then of course, if you've got kids and they don't like their vegetables, holy smokes, Batman, do we need a multivitamin or just eat a little bit better? Where do you go from there?
I'm not opposed to a vitamin. Vitamin D is really important, and that's something we just can't get enough of from our food. And, depending on where we live and how much we're outside, that can vary too. And if your diet isn't perfect, then I think a multivitamin is a good backup, not an excuse to not try to eat healthy, but yeah, I mean, a lot of us fall into habits of eating the same thing every day, and we don't get that variety. So a multivitamin could be helpful in that case. And, I'm not a stickler for it every day, but my children get a multivitamin because children get into these food ruts where they definitely eat the same thing every day. So I know there's
they just want mac and cheese and fish, fish sticks, chicken tenders.
Well, you say kids don't like vegetables. My kids are really enjoying salads right now, which is great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Salad. But for them, it's lettuce and feta cheese.
Okay.
Whatever. But that's their vegetable of choice right now. Maybe in months from now, it's going to be like, well, I like broccoli again. But
when I was a kid, and this is going back 1,000 years, I used to play with my cousins and visit with this one particular aunt, and we would get on her nerves. We would, as kids, be loud and noisy, and we would just get on her last nerve. And she would sit us down on the back steps, now hush, and she would hand us a coffee cup full of frozen peas.
Oh, nice.
It was texture. They were crunchy. They were cold because usually it was in the summertime, and we sat there and kept our mouths shut.
That's hilarious. I thought you were going to say candy, but you said frozen peas.
No, frozen peas. And I think instead of shoveling candy at kids, or whatever, just hush, get off my last nerve. I remember that. And a lot of my cousins still remember that. So I still have frozen peas in the freezer every once in a while. I want something crunchy.
That's a great idea. And my kids haven't jumped on that, but I know some other pediatric dietitians who provide that as a tip, like if your kids don't like the regular version, try the frozen, just straight frozen peas, frozen corn, whatever it is. My kids love frozen blueberries.
Oh, yeah.
They'll eat them until their faces and their tongues are blue.
Little fun fact, frozen blueberries are wonderful in a glass of white wine. I'm just saying.
Ooh. And wild blueberries have more nutrients than the regular larger blueberries.
Okay.
Those are easy to get frozen.
Well, one more thing, because I know we need to wrap up. And I think diet is really important for every age, but I think it gets even more important the more we age, because our body doesn't stop, but maybe our body doesn't produce like it used to. And so a senior citizen, an older adult, is going to need a little bit more nourishment. Is that one of those times, or in that particular age bracket, where maybe you don't have 3 square meals and sit down and eat these huge meals, but maybe you have a bigger breakfast, a little bit of a snack, a medium lunch, another snack, and maybe a lighter dinner? I mean, is that good advice?
I do like that piece of advice. I think that part of it's multiple reasons why our metabolism slows down as we age, but we're moving less, right? We're not as active. And when we are active, it's usually in the morning, which is why I like that piece of advice to have a bigger breakfast, set your day up for success, get in lots of nutrients then, especially if that's when you're hungry too.
Mhm.
For some people, they're not hungry yet until lunch, so make lunch your bigger meal. And then
Okay.
usually your evenings are more relaxed and you don't need a lot of energy, so it makes more sense to have a lighter meal and then go to bed on less of a full stomach, which is
Mhm.
also helpful for our digestion.
And sleep, the quality of sleep.
Yeah.
Because I think if your body's working that hard to digest a large dinner, I don't think you're sleeping as good. And I don't know if that's true, but I know sleep hygiene and plenty of water are like the basis, the foundation of better health, I think.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not lying there.
No, sleep is really important, and sleep can mess with your metabolism,
Mhm.
how you burn fat. It can mess with your cravings, your energy levels. So, as a dietitian, I'm a big sleep advocate too.
Well, I'm right there with you as an aromatherapist because I think I can help some people with those cravings. Where can we find you? Because what if I say, Kristen, I don't know where to start. My diet is just really not good. Where do I start? So where do we find you so that we can come to you?
Well, the first thing would be if you're on Instagram or Facebook, find us there and follow us. We share little tidbits and we have a lot of fun on IG. And then if you want to take it a step further, we have a private Facebook group where we share even more info about how to get started or things that we have going on that you could possibly benefit from. So our Instagram and Facebook is Well Balanced Nutrition
Okay.
NC. And on Facebook, we are Nutrition Know-How for Your Well Balanced Life.
Okay. And then you have a website too, don't you?
Yeah, and you can find out more about what we do as a practice and get a free clarity call with myself or Lucy at wellbalancednutrition.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I write a blog post and this is going to be part of our blog post. So I'll make sure all that contact information goes in there because I know everybody needs a better diet. I do. Kristen, thank you for your time today. I really have enjoyed talking with you a little bit and I was hoping we could do this really soon. So thank you for the time.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me to chat.
We'll talk soon.
All right.